It is a busy week for Manchester United. First of all, two of our players are Copa America champions, won the Copa, the World Cup, and the Copa America. Meanwhile, one key future of this club in Kobe Maino is a runner-up. I'll tell you, Ineos are building a squad of world-class footballers, but I'm not here to just talk about that. I'm here to tell you the timeline of events this week at Manchester United. It's a new week and you expect a lot to happen. I'll tell you again, this should be deal week for Manchester United. Like, share, and subscribe as we do get proper into this Manchester United talk. Now, one of the first things I do expect to happen in this week, remember, this is going to be the first week now with Omar Berada as the CEO in place. Now, it's the first week we are having a fully constituted secretariat with the leader there at the helm and running things. He seemed to be excited from his first statement, Omar Berada, upon his start, which was on the 13th, and he has certainly shown that he has got a plan in place to try and execute the vision that Ineos have got for this whole club and the entire project and where it's headed. So expect a couple of things to be done quickly, because Ineos, clearly from how they operate, they don't have a lot of time to waste. So one of the first things you should expect to happen this week is a decision on Sofian Amrabat. I saw recently Paul Scholes, you do recall after the FA Cup final, Paul Scholes likened him to Prime Gattuso, Gennaro Gattuso. That was a big endorsement. I'll tell you, such endorsements don't pass just like that. I think for me, chances are Sofian Amrabat is going to be bought by Man United. He's going to stay as a Man United player. That is going to happen. I think if it doesn't, I will be shocked. But from my sources, from my analysis, from everything that I see, Sofian Amrabat is going to be staying. Unless there is something maybe to do with his fitness, he's tested and is not fully fit and stuff. But I think even by the time he was included in the Snapdragon new kit, he's going to be staying at the club. So he's considered. So he will not stay as the first priority of a number 6 really. I think there's still a big plan to bring in players, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But Amrabat will stay and be a squad player, probably a big game player, if you can call him that, because he has proven that against the big opponents he can play. So that's one of the things you should expect to happen this week. The other thing you're expecting to happen, of course, starting today, is our first preseason game. Rosenborg in Norway will be taking place tonight, not even today, but tonight. Man United will be in action against the Norwegian club that is Rosenborg. It's going to be at 7 p.m. The game will be at 7 p.m. So you want to follow that. I think I will do a watch along of the game just to have a conversation and see how we play and stuff. I think we should do a watch along at 7 p.m. So be a part of it as we do kickstart the build up to the new season. So that's one of the first things. But of course, there are certain players you won't expect to see. Most of our marquee players who are either still trying to recover their fitness. Others are, a few are there, the Casemiros, the Rashfords, the Wan-Bissakas, the Mason Mount. They are there, but most of the team is full of young kids who are just going to be given a chance. But when we get to the preseason tour of the US, I think that's when the Andrew Onanas, the Amad Diallos and the likes will join the team, and of course those who have been in the Copa America and the Euros will join a bit later to be a part of the preseason, and then we get proper into the season. So those are the two things, of course, that the immediacy you should expect. I think the Amrabat decision will come early in the week. We also expect an official bid to be placed for Mathis de Ligt. De Ligt is waiting for Man United. Man United have had their contacts with Paris Saint-Germain. They have exchanged, information and stuff, records about his fitness and stuff. And Man United will be ready to go. They had a bit of a concern, a disquiet about his fitness, by the way. It was there, I was told. The reason why it has been delayed a bit is because there was a little disquiet about his fitness. But it's highly likely that he will pass the fitness, and Man United will proceed and make that bid. Of course, he's subject to a medical, certainly. So expect that as well. There will be a progress in that. With Joshua Zirkzee done and dusted, United are moving fast to try and seal a second signing. The other thing that you need to expect this coming week, this week that we are in, is Manuel Ugarte. Manchester United is most likely going to put in a bid for Manuel Ugarte. It's very possible that United have bet that decision because, again, of course, before Ugarte, Casemiro first. I think let me just put it in order. Casemiro first. Remember that Casemiro is supposed to be leaving Man United, and we are hoping for a deal to happen. I think I expect an official bid to come through from Saudi for Casemiro after the 17th. Remember, the Saudi transfer window starts on the 17th of July. That's 2 days from now. So after that bid comes in, perhaps the first bid, probably either on the 17th itself or the next day on the 18th. So not later than 18th, you should expect a bid for Casemiro from Saudi when their window is open. Now, after that, then you will see a bid for Manuel Ugarte, probably go in from Man United to PSG. Or if the money is good from Saudi, it could be a bid for Joao Neves or both. So that is something as well we need to monitor. These are timelines. Take note of these things that I'm saying. I've told you, I don't just come here and tell you things out of nowhere. But these are some of the things that are likely to happen at Manchester United. The order might change, but again, I'm giving you what I know and the timeline and how I think it would go. So expect that to happen. Now, one thing, of course, with all this that's going to happen, one thing after the Copa America and the Euros final, honestly, one thing that I believe now, and this is something that has been lacking at Man United, something that we've been praying for, that we've wanted at Man United. The one thing that I think Ineos are trying to do is to build a squad of world-class or close to world-class footballers. And this was a big problem with Man United. You see, you're competing with the Manchester City, you're trying to compete with an Arsenal that have players who are largely world-class or close to world-class, with the Man United squad full of nobodies. Ineos had a big task to elevate the Man United squad to a level at least close to world-class. And if you look at the Euros, for example, where we didn't win, but just how Kobe performed in the Euros. Luke Shaw is properly world-class when he's fit. But just how Kobe performed in the Euros, you know that already now, Man United is going to have a squad that has got, I tell people that I think Andrew Onana is a world-class goalkeeper. There's no question about that. He was just affected by how poor the Man United squad he found was. But you're going to have a world-class goalkeeper. You're going to have a world-class pair of centre-backs in Alessandro Martinez and Mathis de Ligt, proper world-class. You're going to have a world-class left-back. You're going to have a world-class Kobe Mainoo in the middle, a world-class Bruno Fernandes. You're going to have a world-class pair of attackers, or close to world-class because they are young. You can say they are just close to world-class. But for me, Højlund has already proven to me that he's world-class. That's why we paid 72 million quid for him. So you have a world-class Højlund, a world-class or near world-class Zirkzee. You've got a near world-class Garnacho, and winning a Copa America makes him already ahead of most of the rest. I think for me that's a squad that is more like a Man United squad. And this, for me, for certain people, it might look like a small thing to do, but it's a huge achievement for Ineos. For you to come in your first summer and improve the Man United squad from what it was with the Scott McTominays, with the Donny van de Beeks of this world, with all these nobodies that we had. I can go back and forth about the names. I don't want to disrespect them because they gave us what they did. But you know the squad we had. To a squad that has all these players in all these departments, close to, if not world class, I think it's a big win for Ineos, and it's a sign that we've got to trust what they're doing. And for me, it was always going to be important which kind of players we attract, because the reality is Man United at some point had lost their allure for world-class players. Why? It's world-class. We're signing expensive players, but not really world-class, because the players we are signing were not in their prime. You know what I mean? We're not bringing in players who are wanted by Arsenal, by Madrid, by Man City. We are not competing, but we are looking at players like Lenny Yoro. These are players who are, if they are not yet world class because of time, they have not proven they are young, they are close to world class. They are in converse, and this is one of the things that I was always saying here, that Man United has got to be going into bidding wars with clubs like Real Madrid, with clubs like Arsenal, with clubs like Barcelona for the world class players, because these clubs go for world class players or players who have the potential to be world class. But we are trapped in conversations of players who are either in the evening of their careers. So no big club would want them, or if they're in a big club, the big club wants to release them. They have milked the best out of them, and these are the players we are going for. So there is no we are going to have a squad of world class players. We would have squads full of big names, expensive players, high wages. So we think we are great, but in terms of the football, they were off it. That was for me the biggest issue. So I think Ineos have corrected one of the big transfer problems United had, and that's why I think, like they say, the end always justifies the means. Of course, it's early days for us to praise what Ineos have done, because we have not seen the results on the pitch. But we don't need to see the results to know that what they are building is a proper Manchester United squad that will have players who will have the mentality of a Manchester United player. Because if you've won the Copa America, if you're in the final of the Euros at 19, if you've won the World Cup and the Copa America and the Copa America, the World Cup and the Copa America again, I'm talking about Lisandro Martinez. If you are Joshua Zirkzee, who was in the semi-final of the Euros, I mean, your mentality is elite. We lacked elite players in all departments at Man United. So the few elite players were drawn back. Their levels were drawn back because of the so many non-quality players around them, and that was affecting the squad. So for me, one of the biggest wins I'm seeing that Ineos has achieved is managing to, in their first summer transfer window, to build a squad that is close to world class. And this, for me, is going to be a proper solid foundation for great days to come. This squad, give it 3 good seasons or 2 good seasons consistently with what they're doing, with the structure around, they can be competing for a treble. We'll be in conversations where we've won the league, where we are in the league title race, we're in the FA Cup, and the Champions League will be advanced. Trust you me, not in the immediate, but this squad with the edge and the potential, we can go proper and compete head-on in 2-3 years when we are firm and solid with the very best squads in the world. That's Real Madrid and Man City. So for me, it's a big victory that for Ineos, and we are just, of course, it's just the start of what they are trying to do. But trust you me, it is exciting. My name is Webb. This is the United Road Sport. Like, share, and subscribe. Drop down a comment and let me know whether you think our squad is really world class or close to it. My thinking is we are not far from it. We are headed in the right direction. Let me catch you later, fam.